And as we all know, the Old West was a time when men were men and appetites were huge. One of the things that satisfied these appetites was good beef. And one of the ways to cook beefsteak in those colorful times was country style. And that's what we're going to cook today. You start with a good top-round steak, which weighs about 3 pounds and is 3/4 of an inch thick. This serves 4 people. Top-round steak has no bone, but there is a thin layer of fat on the outside edge which you can easily trim off. Once the steak is trimmed, it's time to add the magic ingredient, the bottled browning sauce, Kitchen Bouquet, which seals in the natural flavors and juices of the meat and gives it a beautiful brown look. Once Kitchen Bouquet is brushed on, using your regular kitchen basting brush, you can then salt and pepper to taste. The meat should be left to sit for about 15 minutes to allow Kitchen Bouquet to create a seal for the natural meat flavors. When you're doing your own outdoor cooking, there are a few easy tips which will add to your barbecuing enjoyment. First, clean the grill with a good wire brush. Then, when you're ready to start the fire, mount the briquettes in the center of the grill. This will help the flame reach all the charcoal and give you a good even fire. To cook corn on the cob over the coals, remove the husk and silk and wrap in foil with butter and seasoning. Place the foil-wrapped ears on the grill and cook for 7 to 8 minutes, turning each one so it cooks evenly. When all the briquettes are a powdery gray, spread them evenly over the bottom of the barbecue grill. Set the steaks about 4 to 5 inches from the fire and grill one side for about 7 minutes. Then turn the country steak over and cook for 7 minutes more. To add Western zest to your country-style steak, heat up some tasty mushrooms in a small pan placed on the grill. You can do this just before the beef's ready to serve. To get the meat just right, you can press it with the tongs, never a fork, to see how well done it is. Rare meat will feel soft to the touch, and well done will be firm. The reason I never use a fork is that it would pierce the Kitchen Bouquet flavor seal. One of the secrets of good barbecue cooking is to keep all the juices in, which makes the meat tender and moist. When the meat's ready for serving, cut it at an angle in thin slices across the grain. And don't be afraid to add a generous spoonful of sliced mushrooms, which have been heating in their own butter-enriched sauce. For another Western treat, serve easy-to-prepare barbecue beans. Be sure to serve up the beans in an old-fashioned Western-style bean pot. Carry out your Western theme with bright checkered tablecloths, tin plates and cups, and other decorative touches that create a chuckwagon atmosphere. Western barbecues are always fun. Try one yourself. I'm sure your family and guests will agree it's a great way to celebrate National Barbecue Month. If you'd like a free booklet of my recipes to help you and your family celebrate during National Barbecue Month and all through the year, write to me, Chef Michael Tondo, in care of this program.
And there you go. So that's how they did it back in the day, apparently, with that flavor seal thing. So it's essentially the same thing I'm doing with the barbecue sauce. It's a flavor seal. It's also got flavor. But speaking of which, we should take our steaks out. Time to flip them. Whew! Yeah, gotta give a moment for the waft. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Okay. And basically, to flip them, pretty simple. Just pick them up and turn them over. There we go. We still got a little bit of pink there, still a little bit floppy, so they're not done yet. The second side does not take as long. I do most of the cooking on the first side. As I say, I don't like to flip any more than we have to. I want to keep the juices as intact as possible. There we go. And you can see, still got some jiggliness there, so it still needs to be cooked inside. And basically just do the same thing on this side as I did on the other side. Fresh ground pepper. I have to refill this soon. I'm using a lot of pepper lately, as you probably know. A little bit of light dusting of garlic powder. I do like the garlic. And then your favorite and mine, I know every single one of you agrees, barbecue sauce. Oh yeah, look at that. Just the way Daddy used to make. All right. Some people use a barbecue brush for that additional barbecue emulation experience. I just use the back of a spoon. Also with a spoon, if you have some areas that need a little bit more, you can kind of scoop some off the oversaturated areas and spread it around. And there we go. So as you can see, it's actually a fairly thin layer of barbecue sauce. It's just enough to seal in the juices and to give it that flavor. And I mean, these sauces are, as I say, designed to be spread on meat. It's what they're meant for. And they're not intended to replace or overpower the meat flavor. They're simply meant to enhance and complement it, and that's exactly what they do. I like this, just the Bullseye Bold Original, because it's got a nice kind of sweet flavor to it. But as I say, I mean, there's a lot of different kinds you can get, as we were discussing sort of jokingly, hostilely earlier. There's a lot of other brands you can choose from as well. I'll often try different brands just to kind of give them a whirl. There was a really good one actually that I got from Costco a while back. I wish I could remember what it was called, but I had, you know, a couple of ginormous containers of it, of course, because Costco, and they lasted quite a while. But they were good. I mean, they were a lot more spicy. Like they had some bite to them, man. And sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want something a little milder. Tonight I'm in a milder mood, so I'm going with the Bullseye. It's mild, it's sweet, and it really complements the flavor of the beef quite nicely. Alrighty, so again, just kind of waiting for everything now. It's we're in the home stretch. Everything's almost done. Let's check the chat again, shall we? So, so everyone was saying, "Hey, wait a minute, that video was an ad." Well, maybe it was. I don't know. It seemed a little long to be an ad to me, but it's possible they did get some sponsorship for it. Yeah, the one thing I took exception to in that video was that they used canned mushrooms. I much prefer to use fresh mushrooms. Canned mushrooms just aren't as good. You know, you put those on like a pizza or something, that's fine, but you don't want to have that mistake. You want to have the real deal. Toon Man apparently really liked the hippie girl in that ad. Stout says, "You wouldn't want to pierce the kitchen bouquet flavor seal." And Toon Man says, "I want to pierce that hippie girl." But it's the 50s. She's probably saving herself for marriage. Yeah, this is true. Currently in the middle of taking all those home ec courses to be a good wife and learn her way around the kitchen. you go. And some are wondering, well, why is that one guy wearing like a kiddie cowboy hat? Toon Man says, the next propaganda film, How to Fart Gracefully After a Country Barbecue. Excellent. Let's see. Stout Man says, the flavor seal was an ad, Sean. And Toon Man says, gee, Stout Man, what gave it away? Stout says, well, he said the name of the product over and over again. That was a dead giveaway. Toon Man says, these films, it's like use butter, salt, Mrs. O'Malley's signature gourmet flavor maximization spread, registered trademark, and some pepper. Yep, there you go. And Morgan Entertainment, who is quite the accomplished chef. I hope he does some cooking shows at some point, because he's definitely been making our mouths water with all the photos of his creations in the Discord chat. Says, canned mushrooms, fresh all the way, with a horrified emoticon. Alright. So I was going to say, one of the things I often make to go along with this particular dinner is Caesar salad. I did not this time because I forgot, basically. Now, some people like to make their own Caesar dressing. There is, you know, there are recipes for that. My stepmom actually makes a really fantastic Caesar dressing, loaded with garlic, which, you know, any good Caesar dressing should be. So just to get more garlic in there, gotta have the garlic, man. It's good for the heart. But this time I forgot. But normally, I mean, my Caesar salad is pretty simple. I'll usually get, sometimes I'll get the pre-cut romaine hearts. Other times I'll just get some romaine hearts and chop them up myself. It's actually way cheaper to do it that way, of course. But again, lazy. Just put them into a big bowl, put in a bunch of Caesar dressing. There's actually, speaking of the keg has a really good Caesar dressing, which they use for their Caesar salads. And they recently made it available in supermarkets just as a dressing that you can buy. So I often get that now because it's so freaking good. So that, and then your choice of croutons. Some people like to put bacon bits in there. Bacon bits are good. And then there's actually a really good mix of cheese, like cheese sprinkle from Kraft, which is a mix of Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano cheese, all shredded, and it's like that hard cheese, like Parmesan, and it's better, I find, than just the regular Parmesan. It's kind of powdery. This is actually like shredded, hardened, sprinkly chunks of cheese, and that I find is perfect for Caesar salad. So that's what I usually like to use. I'll get that 3 cheese blend and use that. So basically, yeah, so Romano lettuce. Romano lettuce? Is that right? Romaine lettuce. Caesar dressing of your choice, croutons of your choice, and 3 cheese blend of Romano, Asiago, and Parmesan, and bacon bits optional. And there you go. That is one hell of a good Caesar salad. You could actually just have a big bowl of that, and that would be one hell of a good meal. But often when I do that, I'll actually be full after because it's just so damn good. All right, so we're going to move this out of the way for the moment. I can actually rinse this spoon. Chuck it in there. And I think our garlic bread is done, so we're going to take that out. Okay. Actually, you guys won't really be able to see it over there, will you? Alright, I'm going to put the garlic bread over here. It'll be a little easier to see, I think. Let's get this out of the way. This out of the way. This out of the way. Alright. And here we go. There we go. We won't do a garlic bread cam. You can just kind of see it from up there. Okay, so where did I put? I just put them there. All right. So we want to take this out. There you go. And as you can see, the label is charred, and therefore it's done. So, nice thing is this is a foil bag, ow, and it cools really quickly. Ow. There, it's cool now. I didn't give it enough time. And there we go. Also, nice thing about the label thing there is it keeps it sealed. When I buy this garlic bread at the store, oh, hold on a second, I need to dry that. If I'm going to be cooking it up that night, I don't put it in the fridge, I leave it out. Otherwise, it actually takes longer to cook, surprise, surprise, because it's cold. So it's basically just a French loaf, which has been cut in half and seasoned inside. Just take a look. Oh yeah, it's good. It's done. And then put back together and put in one of these foil bags that you can just throw into the oven. So basically we just slice it up. Yeah. It's a French loaf. It gets a little crunchy. There we go. And then just put the rest in there and just put that into the fridge. The important thing is to cook it first. I mean, you can eat it without cooking it. I mean, it's just basically bread and butter with seasoning. But it's so much better if it's cooked first. So then the next day, I'll chop off a few slices of that and just put them in the microwave for like a minute, just to heat them up. Though if you want to retain the crispiness, probably better to throw it in the toaster oven, just saying. But again, lazy, so. Alright, so let's check on our steak. Like I said, second side doesn't generally take that long. I forgot to give the waft time. There we go. So I'm just going to give it a little squishiness test. Never use a fork and pierce Mrs. Butterson's flavor seal. Yeah, that's good actually. I think we're done. Turn it off. Oakley dokley. So, first things first, I'm just going to put the garlic bread on its own little plate. There you go. Get a nice look at it. It's quite good. You can see very light seasoning inside. It's quite good. I like it. I've had this garlic bread quite a few times. Much like steak, there's a million different ways you can do garlic bread as well. The way my mom used to do it is she would basically get a French loaf like this and cut slices, much like you would cut slices on a, just regular loaf of bread. And then she'd have a mix of butter and ground garlic and such, and she would spread it on there, and then put that on a pan in the oven and actually cook it in the oven until it was all nice and crispy. And then she'd do like a whole loaf like that and just have a pile of garlic bread. And it was really good. So once in a blue moon I'll do it that way, but honestly it's way easier to just buy one of these and throw it in the oven. So that's that. Okie dokie, so let's serve everything up here. So basically, turn that off. So we just pick a steak. We'll go with this one. It appears to be the largest. There we go. Amazingly enough, the drip did not leave the plate. Like I said, only flip it once, keep those juices inside. Alright. Then we want a potato. Looks like a good one. I'm just going to leave this open to air out. It'll cool a little faster that way. Alright, so first thing I do is butter is better, but margarine stays soft in the fridge. The only kind of margarine I ever buy is, I'm not brand specific, this just happens to be base sell. The only kind of margarine I buy is the kind that's made with olive oil, because olive oil. So, basically, that's it. So first things first, you can hear how crunchy that is, eh? It's nice. I normally use russet potatoes for this, but look at that. I don't know why you can see that, but that nice yellow color. The thing I love about these yellow potatoes is that they have just this wonderful creamy flavor to them, and they're great for mashing. They're great for great for just about anything. Great for putting in a stew too, actually, because you get that that nice, sort of like to tear the skin a little bit. I used to eat baked potatoes in a little more complex fashion, where I would actually scoop out the insides and have them as a mash on the side, and then I'd butter the skins and eat those separately. I don't do that anymore. If you want, you can scoop out the insides and add in some spices and some cheese and stuff. Put all that back into the skins and then make a twice baked potato. That's something that we may do another time just for fun. So you literally bake it once to soften up all the insides. Then you scoop all that out, mix in a whole bunch of stuff, and then put it all back into the skins and put it back in the oven. And then let that get nice and, just a slight golden brown on top. And that's good. Baked potatoes, just generally, you can have a variety of ways. I just put butter on them. A lot of people like sour cream and chives, bacon bits. When I get steak at the keg, I usually get either a loaded baked potato, which has all of the above and some cheese, or a twice baked, which is quite good as well. And that has usually garlic and cheese in it. Alright, now just grab some mushrooms and some garlic cloves. Oh yeah. A few extra garlic cloves in there. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful steak dinner a la Zaranyzerak. Let's cut a piece off here and see how we did. Just gotta make some cutting room on the plate here. Here, can we get a steak dinner cam going? Hold on a second. Gonna move this over. And we will bring this over here. Just going to see how your view is. Okay, view looks good. Let's cut into our steak, shall we? The end. The end's always a little more well done. But you can see nice and tender and juicy. So let's get a garlic clove and a mushroom. Put it on there. Smear it around in the sauce a little bit. That is freaking good. Let's get one a little farther in here. Sorry, there's a little bit of fat on the end there. Always kind of tough. Yeah, you can see there. Here we go. So this came out more medium than medium rare. Yeah, because I was talking too much. But I have no complaints. It is delicious. Mm. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, if you're wondering about the garlic toast, that's good too. You basically want the garlic bread to be in there just long enough for the outside to be nice and crispy, and then the inside to be nice and soft. All right. Well, let me put everything back here. Okie dokie, folky. Folkies? I don't know. I'm going to go eat. I need to get the little one to bed. And I will see you later for Saturday Night Insanity. Or if you're watching this years later, I'll see you whenever I see you. So thank you very much for watching Cooking with Zaranyzerak. So until next time, sayonara.